Alright, what's up, people? Ryman. So this is the update to the interview. It was 2 days ago. So a lot of people were asking, like, what interview? What job? It's not for a job. It's for MBA school, grad school. Get my master's in business, because music is a business. So I went to the interview, and well, to make a long story longer, so I went to the interview and I had my coat and I had my book bag and a pen and a calculator because they told me to bring it. So I walk in there and then I poke my head, like I went upstairs and there was like a hallway. So I poked my head in. I didn't see anybody, but there was someone in the room. They came out and said, "Are you Matthew?" I'm like, "Yes." And then they're like, "Come this way, please." So I walked in there and there was two ladies sitting and then this lady. So I thought that's going to be the interview. She's like, "Did you print out the email?" I'm like, no. I really didn't see anything about an email. I was like, oh, that's a strike against me. So then she's like, "Do you have ID?" I'm like, "Yes." I gave her the ID. But I'm thinking, you know who I am. You already said I'm Matthew. It's my time to be here. So I give her the ID. She gives it back to me. So I start taking off my coat, put my book bag down. I'm starting to get comfortable. She's like, "Oh, no, please go to the waiting room." So I have to put my coat back on, put my stuff back on. I go to this other room. So I'm sitting in there just kind of chilling. There was no one in there. And, I'm in there for... I got there early, and I went up... I went there earlier than earlier. So I was like at least 20 minutes earlier. So I was sitting in there for like 20 minutes, just sitting there. So then, and then, again, I thought this was where we're going to have the interview. So, I take off my coat, put my book back down, put my pencil on it there, and my calculator on the side over here, and I'm getting all situated. And then she comes in at the time, 4 o'clock. I think it was 3 o'clock. I forget, 4 or 3. We'll say 3:30, right? So she comes in, and she's like, "All right, let's go to you're going to have your interview now." So I had to put on my coat again and put on my book bag and put everything back on pocket. So then, actually, stop. Let me rewind. So they said that I needed a calculator for the interview. Calculator, a pencil, an eraser. So I bought me a nice little mechanical pencil. I like buying them, it's like a Lucky Charm or whatever. And then I bought a calculator. I have one on my iPhone, but maybe, they want to see if I have a calculator. So, alright, so we go back. So then I go downstairs, I'm following her, and then we walk into the interview room. And I walk in, and guess who I saw? Well, of course you don't know who I saw. It was the dean of the school. That's like the vice president. And I knew who it was because before that I went to his, he was talking about, it was kind of like meet the dean and meet the president. So I went to everything they had. They're free. Some were like 1,000 yen. That's like $10, give or take. So I went to all of them to get a good feel for the school and what have you, and kind of, see who's coming, see what they're about. So I knew who he was, and I was like, wow. But in reality, my girlfriend and I, we kind of talked about, like, you're kind of different because you're not the typical MBA student, and blah, blah, blah. So, really, I'm on the fence, like I was saying. Maybe they want this kind of guy, maybe they don't want this kind of guy, maybe did it. So, well, let me just keep on going. So so we're gonna go a little further. So after the interview, and after the test, and after that, later on that night, I met with some of my classmates from last year who were also applying for the MBA program, and they said that their interviewers were like just staff. And I was like, yeah, the guy who interviewed me was the dean. And like, hey. So, but, it's his school. He's second in command. He got some weight, so he wants to see who this rhyming gaijin guy is. So anyway, in the interview, he's like, "I'm the dean," and then later on, I was like, "Yeah, I went to your lecture," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." And I was like, "Yeah." So, the first thing he was just like, kind of, why do you want to go to the MBA school? And I was just like, I'm just trying to do A and trying to do B and try to do C. And he's like, can you refine that? Because I was all over the place, my 10-minute video vlogs. So he's like, can you be more specific? Because he has to tell the other people about me. And so I was like, I do music. I want to help other artists make it, and I don't know, I was being myself. That's all I could be. So I was just like, the reason why I want to be in the MBA program is because I'm a musician, and music, art, but in reality business is art and art is music and music is business. And I really believe this. It's not like colorful talk. I believe that people who could read numbers and then make those beautiful charts, and I'm not talking about Excel, I'm talking about raw data and turn it into some kind of picture. I mean, it's still a chart, but turn it into something. Because that's what I do. I take sounds and I turn them into like music. So, he's like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I do martial arts. And so then he was like, can you tell me about 3 of your achievements? I didn't put these in the essays. I was like, the first thing that I'm very proud of is that I solved the Rubik's Cube. And he's like, please explain. I'm like, for 7 years I was just twisting, but it was something that I felt that I needed to do. It's something that I believed in. In fact, when I came to Japan, I had a Japanese English dictionary. I had an extra pair of clothes. I had some money, and I had 2 Rubik's Cube. I made sure I packed them with me, and I solved it the first time when I was in Japan. Just, hey, I solved the Rubik's Cube. So it really means a lot to me. And and then he was like, I'm paraphrasing here, but he said something like he read the book about how to solve the Rubik's Cube, and so we connected there. That was a point. That was a risk. He could have been like, dude, this is the MBA school, not a solve the Rubik's Cube school. And I was like, well, I'm sorry. But then, so he's like, what's the next thing that you were proud of, your achievement? I was like, again, I didn't put this in the essay, because, again, I climbed Mount Fuji, and I rapped on top with the sunset. And I told him how, one day I woke up and I'm like, hey baby, my girlfriend, hey baby, we're going to climb Mount Fuji. She's like, eh. Like, yeah, we're going to climb Mount Fuji. She's like, eh. She's like, when? I'm like, next week. She's like, eh, we need to prepare. And I'm like, no, we're just going to go. And she's like, eh. I'm like, that's, and then, but we did climb, and we did get up to the top, and I did freestyle on the sunset. And, I was just telling him about that. And then the last one I talked about the Guinness Book record that I broke, and how even though it was just me doing my rapping thing, I was able to enhance the lives of other people. Like, people had a sense of purpose. People were out there doing their own thing, but we all were for the same cause. And some people met a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and it was just really cool that, again, I was just doing my little thing, and everybody, so I was explaining that, and he's like, okay, next, I didn't write down the conversation, but basically, then he was like, I mentioned about YouTube. I told you I was going to talk about you guys. Like, I do things on YouTube. He's like, yeah, I tried to find you on YouTube, but I couldn't find you. I was searching under your name, Matthew. And I was like, it's not under Matthew. And then it's like, because although I don't have anything that's all like crazy on YouTube, some of the things, like the one video I did with Mommy where we're dancing a disco. I mean, it's a funny video, but I don't want the people to see that one like, I don't know about this guy. But I had to tell him, so I'm like, it's rhyming gaijin. I'm trying to think, is there anything? But everything I put up on my channel, it is me. I'm not, I don't swear, I don't talk trash, and I'm generally just doing what I've been doing. So, so then after that, it was just a 30-minute interview, and he's just like, so this is what he said. He said, after hearing you and listening to the Rubik's Cube and climbing Mount Fuji and rapping, you're very inspirational. He said the word. You remember before I was like, I want to inspire, but he said it. I was like, yeah. And I don't remember putting that in my essay, so this is just him getting the impression, that's what I wanted. Somehow get that across, and it came across, so I was happy. Also, okay, so that was that. I want to say thank you to all the people who added me on Facebook and liked the fan pages, and it was really cool because, you see me every day, rhyming, but I don't know who you are, and it's just kind of nice to see who's watching me, and we're friends now, so I can see your feed. So on your birthday, I might give you a shout out if I happen to be sitting at my computer, or if something happens. Plus, you can always email me. I mean, I'm not always online, but if I'm online and you email me, I can respond back. We can kind of have like a little tiny conversation. Yeah. So, as I was saying before, and it's not going to happen overnight, so don't even worry, but there is a cap on the Facebook thing, and when it hits 5,000, I'm going to have to start deleting people, which I don't want to do. Hopefully by the time I get to 5,000, Facebook puts it up to 10,000, so we don't have that problem. But right now, I got 2 friends who have like 5,000 Facebook friends, and it's like you try to add them, it's like, this person has 5,000 friends. They have to delete people. It's like, sheesh. And after you get that many people, it's difficult to sit. I don't want to talk to this person, and this person is not a friend anymore. It's just a hassle to go through them. In fact, just take my word. You don't gotta take my word for it, but take it anyway. Anyway, so that's about it. It's a long video, as always, but that's what I do over here. Okay, rhyming. Peace.